Monday. Why? Because we're up, we're alive, we're breathing. We should definitely be blessed. Up. Okay.
Oh,
All
there
right,
you
we're gonna
go.
try. We're gonna try
Smooth.
this again. Look at us. I'm telling you,
Oh,
we all learning and stuff.
okay.
Okay, let's
Okay.
try this good thing again, y'all. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. This is Aisha, also known as Jade, one of the co-hosts of Chit Chat Chew Radio Show.
And this your girl Uno, the other co-host of Chit Chat Chew Radio Show.
So before we start, we just like you guys to just appreciate yourselves because you got up this morning, you're breathing, you're moving around. You may not be where you want to be, but you're going to get there because you have to have faith and determination. Put your faith into action and never be defeated no matter what the challenges may be. I have to constantly
Do not give
remind
up.
myself of that. Yes, please do not give
Keep
up.
on striving for better.
Absolutely. So again, we are the Chit Chat Chew radio show that airs live every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. here at Studio 21 Media in Atlanta, GA. Hey! So, I just like to take time out first to just kind of give you the options on how you can listen to us or stream us.
Give them the first option. What you got for them?
The call-in number. Please, if you hear my voice, call in to 404-474-0080. Again, that number is 404-474-0080. Looks like we have a call.
Hey, hold on.
Hello, you're live on the show.
Caller. Caller, you live.
Azure, how are you?
There we go.
Hi, Cristin.
Hey,
How are
Cristin.
you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are y'all doing?
We
All
are
right.
all right. And before we start the show, we're going to introduce who's on the phone right now. That is Cristin Azure. She's an actress, model, film producer, and stunt driver. So we're going to have a great show tonight. So we're ready, Cristin Azure. And what do you have for him, Jade?
And before we start with Cristin Azure, we just want to give you some more of the outlets. I gave the number earlier, 404-474-0080. If you want to call, I guess call in with questions. Also, you can download the app, which is Audio, AWDIO. Again, that's AWDIO. Download the app. Or for our wonderful, friendly LGBTQ community, you can stream us live at www.gay, which is GAYTVATL.com. And one more thing, and then we're going to get into this show and pick Cristin's head. So we just want to take time. You know, most of you guys, we started November the 7th, our show. We're new to this, but always true to this. We just want to just really say that we thank you and we appreciate you for the past shows that we done. We now have 4,725 viewers. That was in the month of November. We are so excited and glad.
We appreciate all of
really,
you for tuning in and listening to our show. We definitely
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
Okay, so now we're about to get into this show.
So how are you doing, Cristin Azure? How's everything tonight?
I'm doing good. Just getting ready for dinner and all that good stuff.
Awesome.
Oh, that's what's up. Well, sorry you couldn't make it out. I wanted you to come in, you know.
I know. I couldn't get it in there. My babysitter, she couldn't make it tonight and ended up getting sick with strep throat. And so
Yeah.
I told her just to keep that there.
Yes, definitely.
I
Well-
understand. Trust me.
Well, we definitely send well wishes out to your babysitter. I hope she gets well really fast.
Thank you. Thank you. Me
No
too.
problem. Yes.
So, Cristin, we're gonna get right into it now. I know you're involved in the film industry, and you do, you produce countless films, independent films,
Yes.
and also doing acting and also stunt driving, just the various of things. So, my first question to you is, I know you're into the stunt driving. So with that being said, do you have any favorite action movies? Like, what is your favorite action movie?
Oh, action movies. I don't get to watch a whole lot, but anything with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's always going to be fun and blowing up stuff. But Triple Nine was a huge action film that we filmed a couple years ago, and that's got Norman Reedus in it. There's a ton of action in that, and we did a lot of driving stunts and precision on that one as well.
Awesome, awesome. And you doing stunts in that as well?
I did precision driving in there,
Oh,
stunt support.
okay, okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to check that movie out then, just in general, cause
Yeah, yeah. Look for me on the bridge when they are blowing up the minivan. You'll see me in a silver Tacoma.
okay, I'll definitely check you out. I'll check the movie out as well, cause yeah, I'm into the action movies, so that's definitely worth checking out.
So, how did you get into the whole stunt driving and all of that? How did you get into that?
Well, actually, I got into doing the film industry itself because I saw season 1 and 2 of Walking Dead on Netflix and realized, hey, this is filmed here, and I need to be a part of it. So I got into doing background full time and thought that I wanted to do set construction and set design when, that was my focus when I went into it. And then I realized, hey, there's a lot of other things in here too. And so I got to work real close with the precision stunt teams, working on several things. And then they said, hey, looks like you can drive. Why don't you try out for our team? So I did and made the team. And I've now driven 13 films with Precision Drivers Unlimited. And we're a precision driving team here in Atlanta. And we've traveled over the country. Some of the guys have gone on some Toyota commercials and, several different films. I've driven 13 films with them now, and so we just did a Bollywood film over the last couple of weeks where we were driving cop cars and tearing through the streets of Atlanta and down by the racetrack and Cristin and having a good old time and making some great footage for them, so.
Oh wow, that sounds
Awesome.
really
That's
interesting.
awesome.
Have you ever gotten hurt from doing this?
I have never been injured on a set. I know that it does happen, but we are, especially our team, PDU, is we train together a lot, and so we work a lot. We work really close together, and we're a family that we've all just kind of adopted each other, and so when we're there, we keep each other safe, and we know we can rely on each other for where we need to be and knowing what we're doing. So we're we don't have any issues, but there have been on other sets and such easier things, of course, but luckily I've never been involved in anything or had anything firsthand. So.
That's good.
That's good. That's real good
cause,
fortune.
Because it is risky. It's definitely doing stunt
It
driving.
is. Every day, something could go wrong, and that's where training comes in. It's really important to know who you're driving with, who you're, and that you can depend on that person because you're, in a big vehicle that is doing what is being told, to do, and you got to believe that the other person is going to be where they're supposed to be, and then this guy's rolling out on the hood of, a moving vehicle, so there's that element, foot stunts, and so, there's a lot that goes into it, but safety is first, and we have awesome stunt coordinators that are always on set, and of course, EMTs are there just in case, but we do a good job.
Oh yeah, hey, that's good to know. Cause yeah, I mean it's definitely, far as counting on the people that you work with in stunt driving. I know it has some trust there too, like trust, not just safety, but trust, and also working together. So
Yeah,
that makes it makes a lot of
being down
difference.
in Atlanta. there's pedestrians walking around that, and fans coming back and forth from, games or whatever, and so they're not understanding what's going on, and these cops are getting out and drawing their weapons and all this, and it's like, well, should I run or should I film it? And so
Right.
you get a lot of people standing on the side with their cameras out, and they, so we have great PAs out there keeping the public safe as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what's up.
And do you find that there's more women getting into that industry, like being a driver?
Yeah, it's forever since stunts have, been involved in movies, it's always been the guys. But over the years, more females have gotten involved, and, and you got to be an athlete to do stunts, a lot of times. They've got you doing all kinds of flips and high falls and falling, and being sling, around the room, whatever. It's very a strenuous thing. So, most stunt people are athletes, and those people do physical training day in and out. It's no joke what they do, and it's a lot of work, and training is very important, and you can't just go out there and do something just for the fun of it, because that's where you get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And are you trained in any martial arts since you're involved in stunt driving a lot?
No, I do not have any martial arts training. I've had weapons training with handguns and some sword and knife, and but mostly handguns and rifle training. And that's been ongoing for several years, and so I don't really do a lot of the fight sequences. I stick behind the wheel for the most part, and every once in a while get out and have to do a little acting, but
Okay, then.
I like the wheel.
Hey, I don't blame you. You're trying to be on the wheel and then you transition and to try to fight somebody. Yeah, that's a lot going on.
Yeah. Yeah. But and now there's such a heavy female presence in movies. There's a lot more action. Females are kicking ass and fighting all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Hunger Games and Insurgent. Been some of the most recent ones filmed in Georgia, and they, it's the girls that are fighting. So they have put, a lot more females into these stunt roles, and the stunt community, the female stunt community, is tremendous. And I've had such a pleasure getting to meet and know some of these ladies, and they're badass. They really.
I bet they is. Hey, it's woman power.
Absolutely,
That's
because
right. Oh yeah.
absolutely, because I know just watching films kind of back in the day, so to speak, it always seems like we're tripping and falling and we're just screaming so much, and so now
we can swing too.
Hey,
we can swing, absolutely.
Right, we can kick, swing, all that.
I'm really happy to see more presence of women, like you said. Just it's more women presence that's in that industry in general.
Yep.
So I've seen a list of independent movies you helped produce. Is like, which one was your most enjoyable to be involved in?
Oh my goodness, Cherry Bomb the movie. We did. My director came to me with the 48-hour film competition that was back in the early summer, and said, let's do this. So what it is Friday evening at 7:30 p.m. you get a script, excuse me, a line, a prop, a genre, and a character. And you have to create a script and film it and edit it and turn it in within the 48 hours on Sunday evening at 7:30. So we did that, and our genre was spy cop comedy. Mm-hmm. So we had Cherry Bomb, who was played by Lizzie Vincent, and she is an awesome actress. You can check her out. But she was our Cherry, and she comes, of course, she's using what is called, it's the like Uber, and so it's called Shortcut for our film. So, she's called this cab to come and take her around and do all these killings because she can't drive. So she literally does not know how to drive, and she cannot drive to save her life. So she hires this guy, to come take her around and do all this, and really, blows this cab driver's mind, with all of these things that she's getting him into. And our film is right about 7 minutes, and it won the People's Choice Award and the best practical effects. And we had built a rain rig. Scott Little built a rain rig and made it rain for our film, and it brought that special element. So there were so many times that night that we looked at each other and said, "Is this rain rig really worth it?" Because there's so much going on inside that 48 hours to get this film done and ready, to go to editing.
Oh, yeah, I know it's a lot of process.
Plus, we were shooting only at night, and so we had some pretty cool locations, and we made it work, and the people loved it. And the People's Choice Award is kind of the highest, that you can get. If you make the public happy and the audience happy, then you won.
Pretty much.
So it was great, and we had a lot of good competition, and but we had a great film, and we had the best team. And a lot of other teams we heard, had problems, and some got in arguments and packed up their toys and went home, and but our team was still hugging and kissing each other after it was all over with, and no one slept all weekend. And so that, for so many reasons, that is just my favorite project that I've ever worked on. But and then winning on top of it just makes it even better. So,
oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out that film. You said it's in Cherry Bomb. That's your favorite one.
Yeah, go check it out. Cherry Bomb. We are about to start, because that is just a 7 minute project that we did, and so we're about to turn that into a feature film. And,
oh wow!
And that will be produced in the spring, early summer, and so we're going to be getting that going. And if all goes well with that, then it's going for a series on Netflix as well. So. We believe in it.
That's good. That's what's up. I mean, I do understand that whole process of production, because me being involved in audio and really working around people who's in film, whether there was a producer or a director, or there was a cinematographer or the PA, whatever their position was, I know it's just long, tedious hours of trying to get the scenes tight, whether it's the lighting, whether it's the angle, whether it's the shot, and the direction where you want the actors to go, and it's just so much. And then on top of that, the process of editing for the editor, the video editor, and then you have the audio people who's got to make the sound come to life, sonically, and then on the video side they have to make the imagination come to life. So I definitely understand. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's so many moving working parts to a film crew, and I think that's why they call it movie magic.
Yeah,
because to get that many people to work together and create something awesome, that's my favorite part of it.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, it does take a lot of work, because then you got to look at the fact you deal with different personalities, and people have different, I mean, different ways they feel about the film, so it's just a lot. So, I mean, so just to have everyone come together and be on the same accord and make the project work is the magic.
Yeah.
So, tell me, how far have you traveled, as far as like going out?
How far have I what?
Traveled, as far as like doing, like producing with the films and things.
Well, I was born and raised here in Atlanta, and so I haven't, lived anywhere else. But and I, typically don't travel too often other than for a vacation, but since I've gotten into this and did end up getting to be successful with Walking Dead, and so I go to different areas and do Walking Dead signings, and was just in Indiana a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, so, and Evansville, Indiana for TriCon, and that was really cool. Great people and great costumes. We had a really good time there, and then Hickory, North Carolina was an awesome Hickory Con. That was fun, and so and to Alabama, kind of the southeast. I don't go too far, but so not for film yet. At least everything's here.
Yeah.
I don't really need to go anywhere.
Yeah. It's booming here with film now, so
Right.
there's really no reason to even go that far anyway.
Well, for me, you guys are a little more, definitely more experienced than me. I'm just kind of falling into it. So I'm just curious. What's a line producer and a location manager? May sound silly, but I'm the baby still learning about it.
You said I couldn't understand the question. What is a line producer and location manager? What?
What do you do? What are the responsibilities or the duties that line producers or location managers do?
Okay. Well, a line producer, for the most part, is there on site when filming is going down and handles everything, is kind of the liaison between all the departments and makes sure everything runs smoothly. If one department needs something, that producer makes sure it gets to them and takes care of the, mending those ends so that it gets to where it needs to go, or they acquire, whatever it needs, and it's kind of puts out fires, whatever it is, fixes the situation, makes sure everybody's working smoothly, working on time, checking the weather, whatever needs to be done, the line producer makes sure it gets done. The location manager, locations would be secured, beforehand. You go and, have a scout go find what you want to film in, and then the location manager would be the liaison between the property owner and the production. So you go and, you're there from the open of the set to the close of the set, and you make sure that everybody's happy throughout the entire time that you're there. And if there's any problems with where they're at, they have a car that needs to be moved. The location manager needs to make sure that car gets off of that set so that they can start filming. Or front porch light is on. You got to ask the resident next door if they will turn their lights off. So we can film. Just whatever needs to be done. The location manager is going to be, who you go to if you have a problem with anything going on that set.
And so does that require a lot of experience as far as schooling?
You've got to be a good people person, and be able to talk to people well would be number one. And just basically just being on your toes constantly and making sure that whatever is needed is taken care of. But it's the most time that anybody in production spends on set is the location manager. They have the most time on that set that day.
Oh, okay. That sounds really interesting. It sounds like it could be extremely long hours.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Tedious.
And, and of course, being from Atlanta, I know pretty much everything about it. And so, the ins and outs and where to go and neighborhoods and all that, so that helps me. But, but just experience-wise, I started out, getting into the independent world. I had a friend who was doing a film in squatting on properties in Atlanta, and my brother had some property south of Atlanta that he was tending to, and allowed me to film on it. And so I ended up having over 27 independent film productions come through that property in a year and a half. And I had to close it down because the bank that owned it decided to sell it. So they said, no more filming. But I had stunt people come there, and several independent films that were done there, and just so I was able to learn a lot about productions firsthand, and being on that location, I had to open it, and I had to close it, and make sure everything got put back the way that it was, and of course you got to make sure trash gets dealt with. There's so many things that we have to deal with for locations. But that one, that location, I really was able to cut my teeth on and got my experience from. So that was a huge blessing to me, and the other 27 productions that came through there, and got some really great stuff, and some a couple of things I acted in and had a little role, or did a small stunt here and a few of them, and so that was my learning.
Okay. Sounds like a lot, but it also sounds like fun. It sounds very rewarding. Sounds like you meet a lot of great people.
Yes, it is. It's tremendously fun and extremely rewarding. I've gotten a lot of exposure, a lot of credit, film credit for several things. There's several things that I haven't gotten. They're not on IMDb, which that's it's no big deal. But it's the fun of it, and the making film family. I mean, it's just the people that I work with they become family. I don't know how to explain it. You grow up and go through school, and you have your friends and all of that, and then you grow up and you go on, and and it's like, oh, it's sad that I don't see them anymore. But with film people, it's like I can't live without them being in my life in some way, and make any excuse to create a film to get together.
Right.
It's a lot of fun, and the people are just so talented and want to make something really unique and cool, and just to see the ambition in people and the talent. For me, that's rewarding all in itself, and to say, hey, we did this, it didn't cost us anything much, throw in a couple of bucks here, and then but look what we did, and a lot of people enjoyed it. So.
Oh yeah.
And we're all, everybody's constantly on to other things and bigger things, and
Okay, that sounds really awesome. It really does.
yeah, it's a heartwarming story all in itself.
Oh yeah, I mean, because in the end, you do build relationships with people, and then you continue on those relationships with those people because
Yeah.
And
Yep, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Right. So like now, as far as with Walking Dead, I know you was a zombie in Walking Dead, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So what was
I did season 4 and 5.
Right. And what was the process like? Just being a zombie, like because I know there's a lot of creating the makeup and costume design for that transformation in itself. So, just what was that experience like for you? What's the pros and the cons of it?
Oh man, there's not too many cons at all. I mean, there could always be more money, but hey, you're working with these fantastic people, and Greg Nicotero's K&B team, they just are so awesome. You walk onto that set and you can't help but feel this presence of greatness, everywhere. Excuse me. And so yeah, but you go sit in the chair and, the makeup guys are in there. They just handle everything, and, and then you don't recognize yourself, of course, when they're done, and, you sit there watching them do all of this to you, and it's just like, wow, and to me that it's a whole different world when you get into all the makeup and prosthetics and everything. It's so different. So you can kind of be somebody else, and it's okay because nobody knows who you are, and
Right.
you can just have fun with it and do whatever, and but it's but The Walking Dead. It's sometimes you're sitting in the chair. The main look that I've got on the calendar is that took 2.5 hours to do, and
Oh,
then,
yeah.
of course, another 2 hours to take it off. But they put all my hair up and put a bald cap on, and then put the fake hair over top of that, and the makeup and all, and it's amazing what they do. And
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're very
and the talent
talented.
that they have.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, because I mean, I know it takes a long time. Because they're so very detailed. Like you actually look like a zombie. No matter who they put in
Yeah.
that type of transformation, it look so similar to it. So I know it takes a long process.
Mhm.
So speaking of walking zombie, now. You also did a role also in Vampire Diaries, right? As a
Yes, yes. I was one of the 12 witches that had
right,
to die for Silas to come back.
right.
And so she killed us in the woods, and with the pentagram and all of that, and we had fire in the scene, and and then they brought us back to life for the season finale, and they cut off the head witch, cut her head off with the graduation cap, and so that was a cool, fun thing. And I used to be a fan of the show. Oh, well, still
Oh
am,
yeah,
but
that was
I
my
just
next
don't have time to
question.
keep up with it.
Yeah, that was gonna be my
Yes.
next question. You answered my
Yeah,
question now because I was
it's
gonna
a good
ask like,
show.
huh? Were you?
It's a good show.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have not watched it. I wasn't even interested in watching it. I thought about it. I might have to just check it out just to see how I would feel. Like, would I be into it? Just check it out to see what's going on with it.
And what's the name of it?
Vampire Diaries.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
They've got that and the originals that is kind of a spur off of Vampire Diaries that
oh yeah, I've heard of that.
that they film on the same movie sets out there in the Covington and Conyers area.
Okay,
But,
yeah.
But yeah, I used to be a fan of the show when it first came out, and started watching it. And then once I started working, in film, I just lost all time to sit down and watch movies and TV shows. So I get to watch Walking Dead only when I can. I reserve Sunday nights as often as possible, but it's hard to get into a lot of things.
Yeah,
But,
I'm so lost with Walking Dead. I mean, I haven't watched it so long. I'm just lost. I have to actually start over because I don't even know what's going on, who's who, what's what. So yeah, 'cause I guess
yeah, there's a lot of
life.
things that happen.
Yeah, a lot. So I'm gonna have to just start from the beginning because I know I was on season 1 and I think 2, but then I fell off. I guess life, just if you have stuff going on, I just don't. I guess I didn't think about it to even catch back up. So, and then by the time I wanted to catch up, I was like, okay, I don't want to now because
Yeah, it's so much you have to sit down and watch for.
yeah, because
To sit there and get caught up.
right.
Who has time for all that?
Right, exactly. And which role far as Vampire Diaries as the witch or the zombie in Walking Dead, which one did you like the best playing?
Oh, definitely Walking Dead.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time on Walking Dead, and just being there with all of the cast and crew. I mean, the cast is very friendly. They're nice. They say hello and good morning, and casual, here and there every once in a while. But the crew is you get that family feeling from them as well, and they just they're there having fun. They're extremely passionate about that show, and it shows. And they're a great working team. Also, they run as a family unit, and and they treat us very well, and so there's nothing to complain about. Plus, you get this awesome makeup. It's great.
That's good. That's awesome.
So, what role would you say, if at all, you played that might have been challenging for you, or maybe you may have second guessed about wanting to play it?
Challenging? No, I mean, like I did, there were several challenging days, the heat, and all of that. But not really anything that I second guessed. I have taken on a couple of in some new independent films that they've reached out to me asking me to do a role for, and one of them is called Native Daughter, and I'm the Millie in the film, and this is about the first woman president, and she. So I'm her right-hand woman in this film, and so it's kind of a big role for me. And I normally, I'll do some smaller lines, but I don't really like to take on a big character. It's just I like to stick with producing films and doing the driving and that sort of thing. And but I like the story, and I love the people that have written this, and I was asked to do it. So I said, this is a challenge, and I have to do this. So let's do it. And so this is the only thing I've really ever second guessed myself. Or should I do this? I'm not sure if I can bring the right what's needed to this role. But I have confidence that in the people that I'm working with, and I think we'll be able to. They'll be able to pull it out of me, and put my heart into everything I do. So it'll be good. But I've been very happy with everything that I've done, and always have fun with it, no matter what.
Absolutely. Gotta have fun.
So I guess with your many roles that you do play, how did you get into acting?
Well, I just doing the independent stuff and helping produce and doing locations for that, and then I got an agent, Laura Huntington with Classic Talent, and she got me on a couple of major films for roles on Stand Against Evil and The Vault. The Stand Against Evil is a TV show on IFC channel. And there I'm playing a Black Forest demon, and then The Vault I'm doubling as the dead version of the one of the main characters. They go back and forth between the live and dead. You'll just have to see it. It's going to be a great horror movie. If you like the scary stuff, it's going to be a good one. Just getting into the independent stuff, and people, I will do some short roles for people, and people know that I'll do it. So they ask me to do it for them, and if they like it, then good. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right now.
Now, as we were saying earlier, it's an awesome thing that women are making our presence much more known in film and, acting, producing, and all of that good stuff. Is there anything that you would say no? Is there anything that you just would not do when it came to a role? Do you have any exceptions?
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't do a sex scene. I don't think, just mainly because I have children and I don't want them to, see. It's just not necessary for me.
Right.
I'm not, so I'm not. I don't really have any desire to do that. But, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I know I'm guessing that of course we see I'm sure a lot of women, they feel pressure to want to have sex scenes or whatever other scenes that might be a little uncomfortable for them.
Yeah, when I got into this, I thought, oh, this is going to be, heavy sex industry type stuff, but I can tell you that I have not yet once been in a film where there was any sort of heavy sex scene or even heavy affection, or anything like that, and I've never been approached to do anything like that, and so I don't feel any kind of, pressure towards sex in the film industry from people that I run into and meet and network with and work with.
Mm-hmm.
None of that. We're very respectful towards each other, and and the scripts that I come across and are given to me, whether it's something for me to produce or something for me to act in or do stunts in, then it's not been that's not been in anything that I've had so far. Now I do have a new film that I'm about to produce or in the process. It's in pre-production right now, called The Basement, and I'll come back and talk to you as soon as I get that done. And but if you want me to come back on, we'll talk about that one. And that one does have a sex scene in it. But I don't want to go into too much detail about that just yet because
Okay.
I'm super excited about this. This is going straight to Netflix. Is the intention for it, and we've got a great crew that we've pulled together to do this. And this is the same crew that did Cherry Bomb that won the 48-hour competition. So I have high expectations on this, and but I'll definitely come back if you want and tell you all about it.
Definitely, definitely. And I heard you say children, and being a parent myself once upon a time when, my kids were smaller and I had to juggle everything and be the super woman and super mom and, how do you handle that?
Well, I started having children 22 years ago today, actually, is my oldest daughter's birthday. She turns 22.
Oh, wow.
And then my second daughter is turning 17 on the 7th.
Okay.
In 2 days.
Right.
And then I have another baby. She was born a year and a half ago.
Oh.
And so I've got them spread out, pretty well.
Okay.
And my oldest one is very responsible, and she takes care of herself. And so I really, she helps me out a lot, and, which she owes me. She better, and,
Right.
But they, with the youngest one, she's really the only one who needs her butt wiped anymore, and but her dad helps me so much with her. She just, she's awesome, but I'm very busy and stay as busy as possible, and he just does everything that needs to be done when I can't, and most of the time does way more for her than I do in a day, and because the film industry takes a lot of my concentration and attention, and I have people calling, and messaging, wanting, questioning, whatever, and so I go straight to that, and
Right.
And the baby needs, she needs all that attention too, but so I do what I can, and spend every day with her pretty much, unless I go to set, and but it balances out, and she was a surprise. Each each one of them were a bigger surprise than the last. And but they're wonderful, wonderful surprise blessings, and
Absolutely.
life changers. They sure are.
That's true.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. So you played as a supervillain in the film Deadpool. So how did that feel playing that role? Like that, just playing a character antagonist. How did that feel playing that character?
Yeah, that was awesome. And actually, when we filmed that, I had just had the youngest baby just 3 weeks before. So when I played, I was nursing her upstairs while we were getting some takes, and then I'd run back down there and do some more filming and go back up and stay with Ruby, and so she was brand new to the world when we were doing that, but that was so much fun. And Garrett Dumas, who created and produced Deadpool, Black Panther, The Gauntlet, he did all of the stunts himself. He's the man in the suit, and of course we had Black Panther was in there, and several other famous characters, comic characters were in there, and so we had such a good time filming that, and so much of the stunt community from Atlanta to LA, a lot of folks came out here to work on it, and he ended up. Those were my locations. If you notice in the film, there's two different gymnasiums that we filmed in. The first part where it's a lighter gym was that original film location that I had, and then Garrett ended up being followed home from set and from somewhere. Someone thought that they could rob him, and they shot him in his leg. And it was one of those things. If it was 1 inch this way, he would have lost his life. If it was 1 inch that way, he would have lost his junk.
Right.
But it just happened to hit. If there could have been a good spot, then he lived, and he came back. They told him he was going to have to take 3 or 4 years off from doing stunts, but he came back in 8 months and was flipping all over the place, and with the bullet still lodged in his thigh.
Oh wow!
Was filming all of this, and oh my gosh, he is one of my heroes, Garrett Dumas. You gotta go.
That's a tough
check
dude.
him out, and
That's a tough
have
dude.
him on, talk to him, because he's an awesome guy and great producer and director, stuntman, and to just go through all of that and then come back in a fraction of the time that they, had suggested, and finish that film, and it was great. It was a lot of fun working with him and all of them.
Oh yeah, that's a tough dude. We gotta.
He is. I know. We need to talk to him
Right,
too.
we need to get him on the show.
Right.
You have to get in touch with that guy so we can discuss getting on the show, so we can talk about some things about just his experience of just in his career field. That's amazing. Do you have a favorite superhero since I asked about Deadpool?
Say that one more time.
Since I was asking about Deadpool, do you have a favorite superhero at all?
Oh, do I? Well, of course, Wonder Woman. I grew up in
Oh,
the
yes.
70s,
Yes,
late
yes,
70s,
yes.
80s, watching her, and I had my underoos, and I pulled the couch out in the middle of the floor and jumped off of the back of it, and singing, and had my fake lasso, and so yeah, of course, it's got to be Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yes, all day. Yes, yes, yes.
Wonder Woman. Y'all think y'all doing something because y'all like Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman was the truth.
Yeah,
She really was. She was. She was.
invisible jet and everything.
Oh, that's what's up. That's awesome though. Now, far as you doing acting, stunt driving, modeling, and producing films, now which one of those do you enjoy the most? Because I know you're in different arenas, but which one of those do you enjoy the most?
Oh gosh, yeah, it would have to be the precision and stunt driving because with my team, they're just my favorite people to be with. If I ever have to go to set, I'm always going to choose to be with Precision Drivers Unlimited. That's going to be the best day on set every time, without a doubt. And we get police escorts and get to tear around the Atlanta streets, and get to do things that normal people don't get to do. And people, look at us and say, hey, I think I could do that too. Let me, and it's like, well, you can't. It's fun, and so we have, that's my favorite. Producing films is my next favorite because I get to be behind the scenes and see everything go down and organize everything and schedule and get things together and get the crews together. And so it's kind of a toss-up between those two, but definitely driving is, it's always been my favorite thing to do in life in general, is just to get behind the wheel and go for a ride.
Oh yeah, a lot of adrenaline. I can see it being your favorite because it's fast, it's exciting. You doing do a lot of moving and it's fun. So I can definitely see that. That's what's up though.
That would be like a real natural high. I've always wanted, what is it called? The people that drive the fast cars. What is it called? Around the thing a lot.
I guess they call them like stunt drivers.
Or the fast car driver people.
Yeah,
I've kind of always wanted to get in one and ride like super fast. That would just be the most biggest high, natural high to me. I've always wanted to do that.
Me too.
I have. I find those things so amazing.
I'll take you for a ride.
I would just be like in heaven. I just always wanted to do that as a kid because I enjoyed like watching those things on television. And I'm like, I just found it so. I was just really fascinated about things like that. Yeah, so I think that would be awesome. I'm going to have to take you up on that.
Well, she might well be a stunt. She might as well be a stunt lady. She want to get all in the car and do stunt driving.
Okay, I think that would be such a big stress reliever. I really do.
We go down to a track in Middle Georgia and do a lot of rally driving. And we go on to a dirt track and there's an asphalt track. And you can do a ride-along anytime. And there's a lot of stunt drivers out there that you can just get in the car. They love to show off.
Oh, wow.
So they put a helmet on you and put you in the passenger seat and
strap you up. Get ready.
Right. I'll be ready.
And say no more.
Right. Oh, wow. I'm going to have to definitely check that out. So, as far as actresses, who would be your top 3 to 5 actresses that you like?
Oh, my favorite is Angelina. She's just awesome. She's an awesome person, and she does a lot for humanity. And she creates awesome movies, produces and acts in them. But she's probably my favorite. Nicole Kidman is another one, and I've always been. I like the versatility of Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
And, oh goodness, my brain's kind of gone blank, but...
Oh, 3 is good.
3 is fine.
3 is good.
3 is fine.
You named some great ones.
What about the men, the actors? Who would you say are your favorite?
Oh... Comedy is my favorite, and so Adam Sandler would be number one. He's really my favorite. Nicolas Cage is another favorite. Oh, Johnny Depp. Sorry, I have to scoot him back up to number one. Adam Sandler, and then Nicolas Cage. So there's my top 3 of those.
Okay.
All right.
Can't believe I forgot Johnny.
Yeah, you can't forget Johnny. He's versatile too in a lot of roles.
I know.
He is.
I mean, he can just be anybody. it doesn't matter, you know.
And he plays it great.
And he just does it. He's just something else. Oh,
he's effortless
phenomenal.
with a lot of his roles he play.
What's one of what would you say, since you like Johnny Depp so much? What would be one of your favorite movies that he played in?
Well, in Pirates of the Caribbean, because he's just so cute, and then he's so funny, and then he fights, you know, and then he's, you know, lovable, and you know, and then he's a dirty bastard, and then, you know, so he's just all of those things, even in that, you know, and that kind of is. He's that and Alice in Wonderland with such beautiful costumes and makeup and so much fun, and Willy Wonka, and just
oh yeah, I forgot about Willy Wonka.
To those characters, and you know, I can appreciate the prosthetics and the process of all the makeup and everything that you have to sit through in order to go through and, you know, become that character. You know, it's a lot of fun. And he's the only one.
Okay.
There's no other one.
And would you say, out of the three women, which one, Angelina Jolie, would be your favorite?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Out of the women that you had named, which one was your favorite? And
oh,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
My favorite, Angelina.
And what movie?
One of her more recent. Well, it's actually been out for a while, but Wanted. You know,
okay.
All the fighting and the badass stuff, and Tomb Raider. You know, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They're just action movies, and you know, she's swinging guns and knives, and you know, kicking ass and
kicking ass all through her movies.
So
oh yeah, I love action.
Fun person to watch.
Oh yeah, I love kick-ass movies.
Oh yeah.
So now I know you're into the film producing, and I know that comes with a lot of process, as far as pre-production and production. So like, what is your approach as a film producer to ensure a film or movie is successful?
What I bring most to the production when I'm producing is the cast and crew. I'll, you know, see who's available and who's willing to come in and be part of crew. And so I put everybody together. And then I'll, you know, look for the talent that they need for, you know, they'll give me a character breakdown, and I'll handpick people that I want to submit for different roles. And then if, you know, if the director gets everybody he needs, then great. And if not, if he needs more, then I'll put out public posts, you know, looking for certain looks or capabilities, and then, you know, just get them what they need, find the locations, and so it's a process that just, you know, starting a new production every time is fun, you know. It's, you know, because, you know, these are the things I got to get done right here in the beginning, and then getting all of those people's schedules together and making it work and getting everybody there on the right day at the right time. You know, that's the challenge, and but I'm pretty good with it so far.
Awesome. That's what's up.
Okay. Also, I see. I don't know why. Of course, I know why it stuck out to me. But the one of the independent films that you helped produce, The Bull's Eye Bitches. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, that do stick out though. Yeah.
That really stands out. Tell me about that.
That is an awesome friend of mine, Casey Wagner, and he had, you know, wanted to do a fan film, a Bullseye fan film, and so he said, you know, and he wanted me to be in it as well. So I was pregnant, in fact, when I shot this with him, and he used my location, and so that's on my page. You can see that film if you want to go check it out. But that was a lot of fun to do, and he had paper clips, and he was killing people with the paper clips because he was, lethal with these things, of
Wow.
course. And
The paperclips.
so that was a fun one.
Okay, definitely have to check that out. Yeah, that stood out to me. As soon as I saw it, I said I have to ask about that one. Also, the other, since I like a lot of action and blood,
Yeah.
blood that stands out to me.
Mhm.
What was that about?
Blood is a film we had a great location in Ackworth, and we shot the first part of it and the teaser for that, and that project's been put on hold because the director's gotten really busy. He does special effects and set design and construction, so he's been working a lot and hasn't had time to pick it back up again. But we used an old haunted house over out, kind of near Rome, and had a great cast, and of course a tremendous crew. And but this is a nurse that has, there's two brothers in this film that are serial killers, and they have mental issues, and there's a nurse that gets in the mix, and they when they go to the hospital, and it's an old psych ward type thing, and so of course the pretty girls always die, and
Of course.
so
Typical.
we're not sure yet whether this nurse is going to make it through or not, but you get the feeling she might not make it. So, but yeah, that one's still in production, and we'll be picking that one up again in the summer, and so, but yeah, that one's going to be a really good slasher film. If you're into that, then
I'm gonna check
you're
that
gonna
out.
enjoy it.
Oh yes,
I'm checking that
the
out.
bloodier the better for me. Sounds,
yeah.
I love it. I really do.
Yes.
And I'm be right with you looking at it. Because I love blood too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know in general though, like in the movie industry, I know a lot of film producers. They work with various and countless directors, actors, actresses, cinematographers, and other film crew, and definitely the audio people, because they are a key part of the production process too. Just as
Oh, yes. Audio is one of the most important things, because if your sound is bad, then your film's going to be bad.
right, and
Who
people,
wants to sit through a bunch of crackling and mismatched sounds? And so, yes, the sound and the picture are, aside from the quality of the actors, but it's
The
all
quality of
those
the sound.
components that have to go in and be, as best as they can. Otherwise, it's going to show. And so it's tremendously important.
oh yeah, because they go hand in hand. You know, you can't have one without the other. Because I mean, people can see it visually, but if the sound is not up to par, people are not gonna even be interested in looking at it visually. It's just
Exactly.
you just got a crappy film, and that's just it. Um, now, far as that, like I know the video, you get the visual part of it, which makes the imagination come to life, and on the flip side, you have the audio, which brings the emotion to a film. So, I mean, from a perspective of frequency, it brings life through sound. It's just not the visual way, but it brings it through sound. So, with that being said, have you worked extensively with a lot of audio people, as far as bringing your ideas to projects, and and if so, far as effectiveness, did it bring your vision, far as you want how the film to be produced, like visually and sonically to life?
A lot of times with the angles of the shots, a lot of times I stay out of it and just let the director and everything, because I handle, giving everybody the ingredients, and then they're the chefs. But, there's been several times that I've, said, what about this angle, and what about this, that kind of thing. I've done the sound on another project. I've, jumped in and was a sound operator for, and so it's a hard, it's a difficult job, and you've got to pay attention. It's not something that you can do half-assed.
No.
Whenever you're on set, it's 100% or go home.
Right.
Because you got, everybody's relying on you to be 100%, and if you're not, then if somebody else, that wants to do it, get in. But with me putting in my input, I do on occasion, but not all the time. And I have directed some footage, some scenes for some things, so that's fun. But it's most of the time I step back and with them because they've got enough chiefs over there, mixing it all together. So.
Yeah, true. It's a lot. Even with that, it's a lot of process going into sound design. I mean, especially working with sound design. So I definitely understand that process. I mean, not only just the audio, far as with if you have the actors talking in there, the ADR work, and then you got on top of that the sound effects, and then you got on top of that the music. Like, it's just so much. So to really just get that all tight, it does make a difference, because if that's not together, then nothing else is going to be together. So.
Yep. And it's all worth it. Every bit of it is just, there's just so much that goes into it, and it's, it's not an easy job, but it's,
I definitely enjoy it, though. It's definitely not easy, but I enjoy it. I mean, cause I love audio, so I can sit there and just, put things together and make it sonically come to life. I like doing stuff like that. So I like the pressure.
yeah.
Because it's gonna make me better.
Have a good, healthy stress.
Right. It'll make me better in my craft, and I want to be challenged.
So, I know we've spoke about the acting, the driving, the film, producing. Also, part of your busy schedule, you're a model as well. So, with that, again, how did you come into doing some modeling? Did it start out as a hobby, or someone discovered you, or how did that work for you?
Yeah, when I was 18, I had gotten a job at Hooters in Jonesboro on Fair Boulevard, and had several photographers come through and was like, "Hey, let's do some stuff." And so I did. I got my start with local photographers, and I went and did a photographer's workshop for about 5 years. And we would go to Destin, Florida, and they would rent a big house and use the beach for a whole week. And I would come back with rolls because that was the time of film. And now we have digital cameras, but we did the film, and they would send pictures and of prints of rolls of film, boxes, so just everywhere, and so I got into doing local modeling. Had a One Model Place account, and just started doing that. When I found out that I was pregnant with my first daughter, was looking to go to New York, and had a promising interview with Victoria's Secret. Then found out I was pregnant, so I decided, no, I'm not going to go do that and get involved in too much. And so then I had made it a hobby, pretty much through the 90s and on, and got some paid work here and there from different photographers, and just did local photography modeling, and so, but it's been fun, and I had my daughters doing it when they were growing up, and they enjoyed it, and then my oldest one decided when she was on her way to high school that, "Mommy, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to ride horses." So I said, "Okay. If that's what you want to do." So they stopped doing it for a while, and but any chance I get, I stick them in front of a camera because they photograph so well. And I
Okay.
like looking at them. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to ask you about your daughters. Would you put them, would you allow them to model if they wanted to, or even get into the different professions that you have, but you answered that question. Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's pretty cool.
yeah, I think it's good for kids to do modeling and acting, and as long as they're not being forced into it,
Mm-hmm.
then I say let them do it, and especially if it's something that they want to do. Sometimes parents, have, oh, well, this is close to my heart, and I wanted to do this, when I was a kid and didn't, so they force their opinions on their kids.
Yeah.
And, and that might be okay to open their eyes to it, but if they just, tried it and they don't like it, then it's okay that they don't
Like it.
go
Yeah.
ahead and continue that, but some parents don't figure that out. But I'm real, into my kids, and if they're not happy doing something, then it's not going to look good. So you can't really force them, So,
That's true.
but they had a good time with it while they were doing it, and they did the Dillard House Stables. It's a resort up in North Georgia and Dillard, Georgia, and they did the website for that, and they got to ride horses for 3 hours for one day, and after they did that photo shoot, my oldest one said, "I just want to ride horses. I don't want to take pictures." And so I sent her, to go check out a couple of horse stables, and she had a good time with that, playing with the horses and learning how to do that. And
Oh, playing with the
But
horses.
it's, when you have kids, your wants come second, a lot of times, and, what the kid needs and what the kid wants is sometimes more important, and usually more important, and they say it a lot louder.
Right.
And so you have to pay attention.
Absolutely.
They can yell and get loud about stuff. So.
And I can definitely relate to what you were saying, just on a personal note briefly. Like, I can remember growing up, and I was put into modeling from the age of 5 up until like maybe preteen. And I really, it was cute having the clothes on. However, after a while, I really just did not want to do it. I really just wanted to be a kid. But
Yeah.
like you said, a lot of times parents want, it's like they're living their lives through their children. And so,
Yeah.
even with
Yeah.
those TV shows that I see, like Tiara, I think it's something like that, where I just watch these little girls, and their mothers are like fighting each other and going off, and
Oh, it's disgusting.
it is
Yeah.
horrible.
It really is. And then it's like, that's the world that their children are growing up in.
Yeah.
And, and like pageant mothers.
Yes, and I
That's a
remember
terrible
being in
breed.
things like that as well.
I always swore my child was never going to be in pageants.
Mm-hmm.
And just for that kind of environment, it's the wrong. To me, it's I'm in the entertainment business, but that's the wrong experience to give your children.
Oh, yeah.
But that's my opinion. So,
Right, I totally am in agreement with you, because even with mine, I mean, my children are adults as well, and I've never, I want them to, of course, I'm firm with things, but I want them to be able to be comfortable with what they wanted to do. I never, like, I just didn't want them to follow what I had to go through, to the point it had gotten so bad I just didn't like taking pictures anymore, and
yeah.
it was just really bad. And even into my adult life, I just did not like the pictures. I just didn't want to do a lot of things. I mean, I'm better at it now, but it just kind of was a little traumatizing because I was forced. And though I believe it
Yeah.
was good intentions, it's just like I said, I had to grow up fast and be in a world that I just wasn't comfortable.
Didn't want to
Put
be
you
I
in
in.
just
place.
did not want to be in at all. So yeah, when I had my kids, I just, they had a little more flex. They had a little more flexibility than I
Yeah, and
did.
it's great to open their eyes to new opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
That's always, as many opportunities we can give our kids, the better. But when they try something and they your child, and
Mm-hmm.
if it's something that they really just aren't enjoying, then making them do it, is only satisfying your desire as a parent, and then how great is that when your kid's miserable? So
Mm-hmm.
Then they'd be overprotective. It's like they try to force everything on you, like everything that they choose in life is right, and but they live their life though. So like y'all saying, I mean, you can't live through the child. You have to let them live, let them experience
yep,
life, let them do what they love, because they will
yep,
resent you in the end. As
yep,
when they get older.
And I can remember my daughter when she was younger, like, grandma would buy the dolls, and it's definitely no disrespect towards my mother, but she would buy the cute little dolls for my daughter. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, my daughter really doesn't want to play with the dolls. She felt more, the trucks were cute for her. And she just, unfortunately, she didn't understand. But I said, let her play with them. It's not that big of a deal. If she wants to play with a truck or she likes trains, just she's okay. She's not hurting herself. She's not hurting anybody else. Let her just,
yeah.
let her just do that.
GI Joes, Barbies, it doesn't matter. They're playing.
Right.
They're climb a tree, go do something, play baseball.
And that's so funny
know.
you say that because my mother did the same thing. Me being the only child, I think she thought I was her doll. And so she would
Yeah,
always have me this little prissy ribbons and all that. And I'm not knocking it for anybody who does it with their children. But when I could
yeah,
escape from her and go over to grandmom's house, oh yeah, I climbed the tree, climbed the fence because that's something that I enjoyed. Like I
yeah,
enjoyed
yeah.
just being a kid and
Right.
doing those things. So yeah.
And and it doesn't matter, who you are. You should be out climbing trees and playing in the dirt a little here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Oh, my mother had
because
a
get dirty,
fit
things
playing
to
me
clean
playing
up.
in the dirt. Oh, she was like, "Oh, you just can't get dirty." And I remember going to the doctor's with my mom, and the doctor told her, "Can you please allow your daughter just to get dirty? Like, just let her be a kid." My mother just was not hearing that, but yeah,
But
I so get it.
kids gotta be kids. You gotta
They
let them be
do.
kids.
They
They only
do.
have
Yeah,
one childhood.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reliving that. So yeah, you gotta let them experience that and know what that's like,
yep.
and let them just be them. That's all.
And so with you modeling, is there anything that magazines or where have you been? Like, where have you modeled? I guess that's what I'm trying to ask.
Well, I haven't really gotten into any magazine or print ads,
Mm-hmm.
but just as a photographer's model, and I model for a lot of makeup artists. They'll do different prosthetics looks, and I sit for them while they teach their class. And because I've had so much, with Walking Dead and everywhere else, that they like my bone structure for the prosthetics and makeup. So
Oh, nice.
anytime a makeup artist wants to have me sit in their chair or hair, people I don't turn them down, and that's a lot of fun working with them.
That sounds fun.
And so that a lot of times I go to North Costco in Midtown and do classes, and so that's always fun.
Mm-hmm. That sounds fun. Yeah, that sounds really fun.
Now, as far as I mean that you being involved in film producing, and I know you've been around cinematographers. So, are you familiar with angles and shots and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I like watching the shots that they get, and I like the cool angles and low stuff, and different point of view shots that it's not just a straight on,
Right.
these two people are talking kind of a bland shot. The stuff that turns me on is cool angles and a lot of effects,
Oh
and
yeah.
and so I'll get behind the camera a lot of times and watch watch the monitors and see what they're doing. But it's I let the magicians do the work, though.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you? And I know you say you like the low angle. Do you have another angle you like? Maybe the high angle or eye level or
Oh
bird's eye
yeah,
view?
anything with a drone, it's always going to be a fun day and interesting. And but yeah, and the jib work, it always makes things look really nice and smooth, and can get those really cool high angles and then jump right back down in your face
Yeah, yeah.
and so it's amazing. I've learned so much, working with so many talented people and just watching what they do and, giving them a platform to do it and giving them the people and making those connections so that, this production is awesome and they're looking for awesome folks. So
Oh
there you
yeah.
go. And so that's the high point of my job is putting great teams together, and it's been a lot of fun. And there's a lot that is in the process of being on its way of coming out. So there's always, as these things continue, then they get finished and then they're able to be presented, and so that's always fun doing the screenings and if you're know anyone who's looking for to get children into this business and people to go to take classes from. Brent Brooks has Blank Stage, and he's in the Kennesaw, Marietta area, and then Kelly Lively is in Villa Rica, and they both they're great friends, and they do awesome work training adults and children, but they do specialize in kids, and so if that's what you're looking, anybody's looking to do, then those are some great connections to make.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a winner. Now, see, well, with me, I mean, cause I'm not like a expert on the film side, cause like I said, I'm more of the audio sound person. But I mean, I do have some basic knowledge of it. Just especially went to school for it, and then
Yeah.
being in projects, and then just experiencing that and knowing what different terms mean. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I mean, that's kind of not my forte,
Yeah.
but I'm getting more into it, I guess. I'm going to get more into it only for the simple fact because now that, me and Jay have our business now, we're going to do a lot of, filming once we buy our equipment. So want to kind of get more in tune. We're doing a lot of knowing about filming as much as I have knowledge of the sound part of it. So, I mean, I do notice with them shots and the angles, they do give off different feelings when you put them in different positions. I think that's pretty cool and creative.
Yeah, there's so many different facets to what goes down on a film set, and and sound it's one of the most important things for the production, and being when you get in there and you're doing sound, and then you're able to see you're working real close with the DP, and they're you get to see a lot of what they're doing, and so you get a general knowledge of all of the everything that's going on. So you make yourself more valuable as the more that you learn, because you can work different departments. So keep doing it. Get in on as much as you can, and I'd love to have you come on to any of my productions, and if you ever have time and want to get in on some independent stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
I'd love to have you.
I'm definitely down. Yeah, I'm definitely down for that. We definitely got to talk about that. We can definitely I can definitely get involved in stuff that you're doing and working together and all that stuff. And I'm your guy for the sound, just to let you know.
We're putting that plug in.
But at the same time, what you just said though, like getting into different different duties, not just the audio, but like you saying, kind of tap into the film side too, like doing different duties. If it's the film side or maybe a little directing or something like that. Like it's good to be versatile. So I definitely understand where you're coming from on that. And that opens doors for you too. Like if one door don't open, then another will, and then that'll take you to where you need to go.
Yep, yep. There's always different avenues to take, and a lot of times it just depends on availability.
Yeah, true.
And so, what type of advice would you give someone who's a newbie who's interested in, like maybe stunt driving, being a stunt driver, of film, television, producer, acting, things like that? What advice would you give to someone as far as where they can, I guess, begin?
Yeah, there's a lot of training that you can take from a lot of the professionals in the industry that are here in Atlanta, and they, hold classes for tactical training and stunt training, different martial arts, because it's important, but I would tell anyone who is trying to get into the film industry, go do background. When you do background, you see all of the different departments that go down, in order to make this film be a film. And when you get into just doing background, you can see everything. And there's so much networking in the independent film community there on set. Because, on the weekends, the independent world does their filming, but during the week they are doing background, and they're networking and making connections with crew people and locations and other actors that are that don't have roles on the film, but they got in on doing background, whatever, but they're great actors, and you may want them in your independent film. So that's where a lot of it goes down, and you can see the different departments and how they run and see what you want to do. When I got into this, I thought I wanted to do set construction and design, but when I got in, then I saw, oh, there's stunt driving and precision driving, and so, I got into that. And so there's, when you go to a major set and you see how everything functions, and you can see how much work goes into all of this, and what you want to do within the film industry, and it opens up a lot of doors, and shows you where you want to be. So I would definitely say do that and get in with some great people and get some training.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. That sounds interesting for me. Like I said, I'm a newbie. I'm a newborn to this, and I've just kind of been learning between, Uno and other people, because where I work, I work through the city of Atlanta. I won't say what department, but I know there's a lot of people who have come to my job that has done a lot of different filming. It just was so interesting to see all the details that go into everything, and the extras that are there. I mean, it's really fascinating, to the point that I like I've told Uno, I really want us to just sky's the limit. You only limit yourself, and sky's the limit, and you have one life, and it's
that's true.
Do what you love what you do, your passion. For so long a lot of people don't do their passion.
Fun, it's not work.
That's true.
And it's a lot of fun, and enjoying what you do is so important, because just going to a 9-to-5 job every day and having to just sit in the desk.
Oh boy, yes.
Yeah. A lot of people have jobs that they don't like at all, and I want them.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. So, but definitely get into something that you're passionate about, And it makes it worthwhile because you love doing it. And you don't
Yeah.
have no regrets about it. You just enjoying yourself. I mean, like I said, you only live once, so yeah, definitely pursue something that you want to do, not because of what society tells you to do.
Absolutely. Um,
Yep.
so, kind of wrapping up a little bit, we just want to find out, with not too much detail, because we definitely plan on bringing you back. We like to know what are some upcoming projects that you have going on for 2017. If you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. I'm actually in the process of getting the scheduling done, but we're in pre-production for it's a true story. It's set in 1952, and this is a lady that lived in San Diego, and she's written her a story about her friend who grew up in South Georgia in 1952. This little girl was born to a white woman who had an affair with a black man, and it shows their struggle in life. And the little girl was abused, and then eventually, at 7 years old, was given away into foster care, where the abuse continued because, of course, she is a mixed race child, and nobody really loves her, gives her any affection or attention. And so Lee Coleman and Nikki Jacks and I are producing this, and so it's the name of the little girl is Mary Sue, and so this is her story. The name, we're still working on the name, but it's the working title is A Journey to Love, and
Okay.
so it's all through the perspective of this little girl and what she endured and what she went through living on the farm, and then as she goes and is sent away to foster care, and her school experiences and growing up, and then being faced with a possible adoption, and then a lot of things, that the way things were in the late 40s and 50s. It was a difficult time
Mm-hmm.
for black people, and going to school in a white school was unheard of, and so she was not allowed to go to school, growing up, and then so that one we've actually pushed filming back to start in the beginning of May.
Okay.
So we'll be getting that done because we like the spring warmer seasons for that. So we'll be getting started on that, and should have probably 2 other films in production by that time, or in the process of filming or completed. I've got 2 other films that are slated for January and February filming, and so it's going to be a busy beginning of the year. So
That's awesome.
I'm looking forward
I'm
to
really
it.
excited
Mm-hmm.
to see how I am able to handle all of this, because it's a lot, but hopefully
Well, it sounds amazing.
It'll come out good.
It
Oh, you
will.
got it. You got it. It's gonna come out good. You got it.
So, where can people follow you at as far as what you're going to be presently doing, upcoming doing? I know sometimes you post on your timeline on Facebook, different things. If
Yeah.
people are interested in being, I don't know, is it extras or something like that? Like where can they follow you at?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. You can find me, Cristin Azure, Cristin Azure, Azure, and then on Instagram, Cristin TWD Azure on Instagram also, and so I don't have time to take care of a website dedicated to myself at this time. But I'm sure one of these days somebody's going to put one together, or I may do it. Who knows? So, and you can find me on IMDb as well. And I've got lots of projects that you can go through my Facebook page and see all of the different productions that I'm working with, and some fun pictures, and I post a lot of pictures when I go to the conventions and do signings. So I love the Walking Dead fans; they're so much fun. So so I always like to do shout outs and that sort of thing to them, and so, but yeah, and all of the needs that I have for films, if people want to be in my films, I always need background people, and anybody who has any kind of special skill, I love to know, who they are so that I can exploit them as much as they'll let me, and so yeah, please find me on Facebook, and when I have needs from productions, that's where I put them.
Okay, that's awesome. That sounds like a plan. We're definitely going to continue to follow you. We appreciate you so much. I've learned in this amount of time so much, a lot of information. I'm more excited about seeing where our business goes, and continuing our conversation with you outside of this, as well as bringing you back to do a follow up with the projects next year. And it's really been my pleasure learning more.
Absolutely. It was a great interview. We definitely enjoyed you, and just talking about your experience and your background and just what you have going on film wise. So we definitely appreciate you being a guest on our show.
Yeah, it's been fun talking to y'all. I've enjoyed it.
Absolutely. So we definitely. You have any more questions?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
That's a wrap.
Well, we like to thank you again, and I hope
thank you
that
for having
you're
me.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully everyone listen. We will find out, and we will definitely, like I said, be talking to you more offline, and we look forward to bringing you back in 2017.
Yeah, we got to have you back on the show again.
Yeah, because we have to find out about the follow-ups and
sounds
all
good.
of that.
Just let me know whenever you're ready.
And
Definitely.
I do have a question for you, but it's a personal question, so I'll ask you off the air. I will inbox
Okay.
you.
Okay.
All right, so thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. Y'all have a safe night, and stay dry, because looks like we're having a lot of rain here.
Yes.
I know, right?
Since this morning. Well, since actually yesterday.
So yes, you stay dry as well.
All right. You too. All right. Y'all take care.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
All right. Thank you. You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that was an awesome interview with Cristin. It's not Azure. How does she pronounce it? Azure.
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 Let's correct that. Azure.
Azure. Okay.
Azure.
So if you guys were listening, you got some really, really great information, especially if you're interested in being in that industry, the film, television producer, stunt driver, precision driver.
Please take her advice.
Acting. Please take her advice. The replay will be coming soon. So now we're going to get into some music before, we wrap up, we exit. So just sit back and relax.
All right, so I'm getting to an independent artist and get into probably a couple more songs. And then when we come back in, I will tell you what I played. So let's get it.
Feeling like I'm dead when I'm not. Tell me when the pain really gon' stop. Tired of being judged by my past from the block. Ain't have too many options, so a pack I had to cop. It was about the money, I was starving in the hood. Mama had 2 jobs, still living broke. Please forgive me, Lord, I had to sell that dope. I saw my mama working hard, but she ain't give me hope. I had no fear, cause I thought death was a blessing. And when they locked me up, that taught me a lesson. How they didn't give a fuck about my people or my stressing. I vowed to make a way to get us out of this depression. Then life hit, Lord, I almost broke. While my homie talking, he never should've spoke. These streets saying lawyer gave me tears in my eyes, cause everything I believed in was all lies. Ooh, it really hurt, it really broke me down. Once graffiti split like my brothers wasn't around. I swear it really hurt, all our dreams in the dirt. Still tatted on my neck, but tell me what it worth. But Lord, I hope you bless them, I swear that they deserve it. And even though graffiti didn't make it, I know they worth it. You know we had it hard, was easy as it seemed. And all we ever had was $1 as a dream. We was taught to rumble and never be defeated. Didn't understand sticking together is what we needed. But I'ma move on and leave it in the past. But Lord knows that's one thing in life I wish that lasts. I'm talking to my people, I'm trying to give them hope. All truth, no lies, this the realest shit I wrote. I'm talking to my people, I'm trying to give them hope. All truth, no lies, this the realest shit I wrote, And I'ma speak the truth and tell no lies. I gotta speak the truth and tell no lies. And I'ma speak the truth and tell no lies. I gotta speak the truth and tell no lies. And I'ma speak the truth and tell no lies. I gotta speak the truth and tell no lies. And I'ma speak the truth and tell no lies. I gotta speak the truth and tell no lies. It's like the fake in disguise. Hustle for them dividends, and ain't no telling what we giving for them dividends. Lost kid, lost child, about them dividends. And the only thing that's on your mind is how to get it in. Weed smoke when I feel I lost hope, I know they don't wanna see my growth, I know that the only way to go is up. So I ain't backing down never, and I ain't giving up. Oh Lord, help me speak the truth and say the real. A lot of innocent people is out here getting killed by cops, and they supposed to be protection. And now they wonder why we riding around with these weapons. That's because they ain't never save us. A long sentence in the jail, all they gave us. And just to be real, they ain't trying to give you hope. That's why the government still got you selling dope. I gotta tell the truth and say no lies. I know some people gonna want my demise, and it's not a surprise. It's okay, let them feel what they want, cause I was always taught to get what I want, I gotta speak the truth and tell no lies. I gotta speak the truth and tell no lies. And I'ma speak the truth and tell no lies. And I'ma speak the truth and tell no lies. I gotta speak the truth and tell no lies. I gotta speak the truth and tell no lies. And I'ma speak the truth and tell no lies. I gotta speak the truth and tell no lies. It's like the fake in disguise.
sunlight. Flowers uncurl in the garden, shoots are coming up again. It's springtime. It's new like the day I saw your eyes, green like the leaves on the falling log against the blue sky. Blossom and falls in a slow dance, swaying got me entranced. So high, it's all green on you, and I want to spend it with you. Lost in your wonderland, green and golden sea eye. Kiss me, your lips taste the honey. Songbirds and bees stop a humming. Come to my wonderland, green and golden sea eye. The same thing that grows in the garden flows in me and you. I want to go on the rainbows that they flow. That's when I thought it was not to be. Holy is the mysteries. It's all green, and everything that I've planted is grown. And all it needs is time, earth, water, and sunlight. Lost in your wonderland, green and golden sea eye. Kiss me, your lips taste the honey. Songbirds and bees start a humming. Come to my wonderland, green and golden sea eye. The same thing that grows in the garden flows in me and you. I want to go on the rainbows that they glow. How can I know it was someday? How can I know you would take over my mind? I wonder now the flowers unfold, 'cause I know that the same thing grows in a garden. Poison me again. Aphrodisiac, green aphrodisiac. I want to go with you, where it's green and all the flowers grow, all the water flows, all the memories grow. Just for the afternoon will be alone. Aphrodisiac, green aphrodisiac. Kiss me, your lips taste honey. Songbirds and bees are humming. Ooh, out to the garden. Oh, oh. Running around you.
I don't cry, but I must mourn. We don't have to fight this war. Wonder what we're fighting for. Loud eclipse and smoke fill lungs. All that snitching cost your tongue. You can't hide, so you better run. It's all the same game that they play. One thing, it all remains the same. You should use caution, lost your way. Yeah, yeah. I seen it time and time again. Where are my family and friends? Seem like they're gone like the wind. I don't cry, but I must mourn. We don't have to fight this war. Wonder what we're fighting for. Loud eclipse and smoke fill lungs. All that snitching cost your tongue. You can't hide, so you better run. Daybreak when the moon is falling, can't ignore the reaper calling. I've been spinning, I was thinking, should I finally get the people going? All we want's a happy home, and why you wanna shoot me, you my brother? It's so easy to breathe, but it's so easy to leave. I know the pain, I know it hurts badly. You know we gon' meet again someday. We just gon' keep going on tomorrow. I know it must be better out there. I don't cry, but I must mourn. We don't have to fight this war. Wonder what we're fighting for. I don't know. Loud eclipse and smoke fill lungs. All that snitching cost your tongue. You can't hide, so you better run. You can't run. You can't run. You can't run. You can't run.
All right.
All right.
Tuning back in to Chit Chat Chew Show with your co-hosts Uno and Jade.
Yep.
So the that last song was by L Trey called Love and War. And you can actually find him on social media at it's_L Trey. You can find him on Twitter and Snapchat, Mr_L Trey. And he has a website called at ltrey.com. The song before that was Kareen Bailey Ray called Green Aphrodisiac. And the first song that we played was by Classic, and the song was called Truth No Lies. And you can find her music and just her social media info. Find her on Facebook, Classic CDC. You can find her on SoundCloud, SoundCloud, Classic-C-D-C. On YouTube, you can find her at Classic CDC Classic CDC ENT, excuse me. And on Snapchat, you can find her at Classic Jewel IOU.
So we just want to say thank you to all the listeners. We hope you enjoyed the interview. We hope you enjoyed the songs that we played for you. And make sure that you catch us next week, Chit Chat Chew radio show next week from 6 to 8.
Anything else you want to say, Jay?
Nope. Nothing else. Ready to wrap it up and catch them next week.
We'll see y'all next week. Peace out.
Peace, love, and hair grease.